In a small village nestled in the rolling hills of Cameroon, Samuel lived a quiet life, one carefully constructed to avoid suspicion. He loved his family, his father, a stern farmer, and his mother, a devoted seamstress, but he also knew their beliefs left no room for who he truly was. Late at night, Samuel would sit beneath the baobab tree, whispering his truths to the stars. There, he allowed himself to dream of a life where he could love freely, where his heart could speak without fear. But in the daylight, he was the dutiful son, never letting his secret escape. It happened on a humid evening, the air thick with the scent of rain-soaked earth. Samuel had gone to fetch water from the well when his mother entered his room to straighten it up. That's when Samuel's mother saw a note in his room, a poem he had written for Kofi, a boy from the neighboring village. Her scream brought the entire household running. When his father read the note, his face darkened with fury. When Samuel returned, he found them waiting. The note clenched in his father's fist. "This is not my son," he bellowed. "This is not natural," his mother wept, clutching a rosary. "It must be a demon." The next morning, they dragged Samuel to the village's native doctor. The hut smelled of herbs and smoke, and the old man's piercing eyes studied Samuel as his parents explained. "He's possessed," his father said, his voice trembling with both anger and desperation. "Fix him." The native doctor lit a bundle of sage and began chanting. He sprinkled water over Samuel, slapped his chest with palm leaves, and muttered incantations. Samuel remained silent, his eyes fixed on the floor. Inside, he burned with shame and anger. When the ritual ended, the native doctor shook his head. "There is no demon," he said simply. "What you see is your son. He is as the gods made him." His father's face twisted in disbelief. "You're lying." But the native doctor stood firm. "You cannot cure what is not a disease." Samuel's parents left the hut in silence, dragging him along. That night, his father avoided him, and his mother prayed loudly by the fire. Samuel sat alone beneath the baobab tree, staring at the stars. For the first time, they felt distant, their light dimmed by the weight of what had happened. But deep within him, a small flame of defiance burned. He knew his road would be long and lonely, but he promised himself one thing. He would not let them extinguish his light.